It's Friday, 4th of April, and it's Lachlan here with your Minidisc update for this week. So, first of all, we've got the Abyss JOAL available for pre-order. The JOAL is an entry-level headphone from Abyss, so we're kind of curious to see what they're cooking up at this lower price point. We've also got the Bathys MG. Now, the MG is an upgraded version of the Bathys, which is probably our best-selling wireless noise-cancelling headphone. So we've got high hopes for the MG version as well. And now for your feature presentation, this is the new Sennheiser HD550, an open-back headphone that's designed to slot in somewhere between the HD599 and the HD560S in terms of tone. The HD550 is clearly very carefully tuned. It's not a rich sounding headphone, and in particular the mid-bass sounds very flat, but for a lean sounding headphone it doesn't also sound overly bright or harsh either. The 550 seems like it might be a really good choice for gaming because the sound is very clear and intelligible, the ear cups are roomy, and the headband is quite nice. Now, if you're a fan of the Sennheiser HD600, the 550 offers a lot of that lean kind of tone for a lower price. But where I think the more expensive headphone excels is in the highs. Compared to the HD600, the highs on the HD550 sound a little bit blunted and compressed. And this can help with some tracks because it makes them sound less abrasive, but I also think it means that the highs on the HD550 lack a little bit of texture compared to the HD600. And that texture is what makes the HD600 sound kind of special. Now, if we're talking about open back headphones that are around the same price point as the Sennheiser HD550, then we can also compare to the new Audio-Technica ATH-R50X, which also goes for that kind of leaner, slightly brighter sound. Now, I commented in an earlier video that the highs on the R50X can get a little hot and crispy. But for genres like acoustic or indie or classical, where I would like a brighter, more neutral sound, I actually think that the highs on the R50X are more expressive and it helps vocals and string instruments stand out. So the Audio-Technica is the headphone I would reach for in those circumstances. At the same time, for pop music or electronic music, the HD550 isn't necessarily my first choice either, because even though it's smoother in the highs, it doesn't have that richness to make those genres sound really fun. But this is all coming from someone who works at a headphone store and has access to a lot of different headphones. So personally, I think it's more fun when each headphone has its own little quirk and its own little niche. If you were just starting out in the hobby and you wanted one headphone that was going to be neutral, I think the 550 is a safe choice, even if it's not the most exciting one. The HD550 was personally for me a little bit hard to evaluate, so I'm really curious to hear people's feedback in the real world. So pop in, have a listen, let us know what you think. This is Lachlan for Minidisc TV, and we'll see you next week.